Now simultaneous equations, we are doing another method, solving matrix method or invert method. It comes for higher classes, PU 2, high secondary, second year or third standard. It is quite tough. Tough in the sense you must be very careful and very lengthy. So you must do that one. So you write the coefficients. Okay, the coefficient is 1, 1 and 1. Like that, 2, minus 1 and 1. And 1 minus 2 and 3. This is called coefficient matrix. This is called coefficient matrix. Next, write the unknown letters x, y, z. So this is called what? So it's only one column, unknown matrix. This is also called column matrix. There's only one column. So it's also called column matrix or unknown matrix. This 5, 9 and 16 are called constant matrix. Constant matrix. It's only one column. This is also called constant column matrix. Constant column matrix. This is called unknown column matrix. You write like this, and then you must write Ax equal to B. Ax equal to B means if you multiply A in x, if you multiply like this, row 1 and column 1, you get the answer 1 into x is 1x, plus 1 into y is 1y, plus 1 into 1z is set, equal to 5. Ax equal to B. The three equations you can write like this, Ax equal to B. The given whole thing can be written as Ax equal to B. If you put the A, if you put the x and multiply, you get these three equations. We want to find the unknown letter x. Take the A, that's it, become A inverse B. So first step is finding A inverse. This only is a lengthy process. The formula for A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. So the formula for A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. This is called part 1. Sometimes we call this as part 0 also, means it's a basic. Write this. Now part 2 is finding determinant A. Finding what? Finding determinant A. This is a thing, finding determinant A. Okay? This part. Finding determinant A. Okay? And you know how to find determinant A? Take this and write the determinant form. Matrix doesn't have value. Determinant has a value. So 1, you put this, so 1 means you must take this block, leave that one, then this will be plus, this will be minus, this will be plus, put minus 1, leave that column, so leave that row and leave that column, you write this, and then you must multiply like this, we taught already, and while coming back you get a minus in the middle. So 1 in minus 1 to 3, minus in the formula, and 1 into minus 2. Like that you must do this and get it. And when you simplify, you get these numbers. And finally you get determinant A as minus 9. This is part 1. Next you must do adjoint A. That is called part 3, a very lengthy process you must do. So now this part 3 is a very lengthy process. Or in other words, you must be very careful in this, that students are bound to make mistake. We have to find cofactor and then adjoint. Remember, our main aim is to find adjoint. First you have to find cofactor of 9 coefficient matrix, 9 numbers. So the first one is called 1. All this will have signs. This has got plus, this has got minus, this has got plus. You can put like this separately. Don't write top of this plus minus, it will confuse you. So write this separately, it's quite easier. Plus minus plus minus. Actually, these signs come from a formula called minus to the power of I plus j. For example, take this number 2. This number 2 is nothing but second row and first column. Second row and this is row 2, and number will have signs plus minus. So you put in two different like this, don't put in the top, it will confuse you. These signs come from a formula minus to the power of I plus j. For example, you take this number 2. This 2 lies in the second column. Second row and first column. Row comes first and column comes next. So when you put the formula minus to the power of 2 plus 1, it is minus to the power of 3 minus. So this will have minus, like that you get it. If you can't understand this formula, you do this separately. Okay? There are a lot of sums to find the thing. So straight away you write like this, plus minus, like that. So each one you have to do the cofactor separately. So again you repeat fast. So write this coefficients and write the plus minus. This is called cofactor. So if you don't put the sign, it's called minor of 1. It's called minor of 1. If you don't put this plus. If you put the sign, it's called cofactor. Okay. Now this is very easy. So put the plus and expand like this, minus 1 into 3, you get this answer, and finally you get as minus 1. Next one, this first one is over, I have taken it. Next one, you must go to cofactor of this one. Cofactor of 1 means you put the minus in front, leave this row 3, 2 and 1 and 1 and 3. So this row and this column should be left for this particular number 1, leave that row and leave that column. Okay, so you get 2, 1, 1, 3. So you put like this, you get minus 5. And if you don't put the minus, it's called cofactor of this one. So like this you can write cofactor of next one. If you want the first word, you can write as A11, first row and first column. If you want, you can write this as A12. If you want, you can write this as A13, first row and third column. This is called A21, A22, A23, A31, A32 and A33. If you don't want to put like this, you can put like this. This only I told you the formula, minus to the power of I plus j. I is called the first number. I is called the first number and j is called the second number. I is the row and j is the column. To get this sign, if you can't understand, you just write this and proceed. So each one you must put the signs in front. If you see, for example, this 2 means, so we take the minor. This is called the minor. So without the sign it's called minor. This part is called minor. This part is called minor. If you don't put the sign, it's called minor of 1. If you put the sign, it's called cofactor of 1. If you don't put the sign, it's called minor of this 8, 1, 2. If you put the sign, it's called cofactor. So don't forget. Sorry about this. So it's actually, so this is called minor of 1, so you can put the plus. So you put this minus and write it 2, 1, 1, 3. So you put this 9 signs and find the cofactor of everything. And if you don't put this, so if you write this minus, this one, this element is called minor. So this is called minor of 1. 1 is also called, this particular one is called as A11, an element of first row and first column. This one is called first row and second column. This one is called first row and third column. Like that also you can write in the side if you want. If you don't want, write this one. But write both, it will be better. So that you can understand. Like that, all the 9 you must write the minor first and put the sign. So don't forget. So for example, this 3, minor of 3 means only this part is called minor of 3. This is called minor of 3. If you put the sign, it's called cofactor. So you have to find the cofactor matrix. Okay. 3 is actually 1, 2, 1, 1. And write all the cofactors in the same thing. We got the cofactor matrix. The same order you write A11, A12. So this they call us actually, remember, I write if you want A11, A12, A13, first row, third column, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So write like this all the cofactor. values, elements. Okay. So the sign is got from the formula minus to the power of I plus j. I is called the row and j is called the column. So if you want this 3, this is A33. So you can put minus to the power of what? 3 plus 3 minus to the power of 6, which is plus. So like that you can find, or you can write like this. So we got the cofactor matrix. But remember, our aim is to find adjoint A, not cofactor matrix of A. It's actually cofactor matrix of this A. We got it. Now we'll go to adjoint A. Careful. So we got this cofactor A. And remember, our aim is to find adjoint A and then also inverse A. All three we have to find. Cofactor A, adjoint A and inverse A. We've got the cofactor matrix A involved with 9 minus. And if you put the sign plus or minus for all the minus, it's called the cofactor. That you must be very careful. Adjoint A is nothing but transpose of cofactor A. This cofactor A you must transpose. Transpose means this is called row 1, this is called row 2 and row 3. So rows you must change into columns. Changing the rows into columns is called transpose, or columns into rows is called transpose. Any one you can do it. So this cofactor matrix you must transfer it to get adjoint A. So the first row becomes here column 1. The second row becomes column 2 and column 3. So the transpose of cofactor matrix is called adjoint A. And already we wrote this formula, A inverse equal to 1 by determinant A adjoint A. We got the value, determinant A is minus 6, so 1 by minus 6 into this thing. This is called the A inverse. So you can write A inverse equal to minus 1 by 6 into minus 1 minus 5 2 minus 5 plus 2 plus 1 minus 3 plus 3 and minus 3. So till this we cover part 3, and part 4 only we get the answer x, y and z. It's a very lengthy problem, but it's a short question for 5 marks in state syllabus and sometimes only 3 or 4 marks in IEC patterns. But it's a lengthy question and a short question. In olden days they give 10 marks, 8 and 10 marks, but nowadays they reduced it. Now simultaneous equations, we are doing another method, solving matrix method or invert method. It comes for higher classes, PU 2, higher secondary, second year or third standard. This is quite tough. Tough in the sense you must be very careful and very lengthy. So you must do that one. So you write the coefficients. Okay, the coefficient is 1, 1 and 1. Like that, 2, minus 1 and 1. And 1 minus 2 and 3. This is called coefficient matrix. This is called coefficient matrix. Next, write the unknown letters x, y, z. So this is called what? So it's only one column, unknown matrix. This is also called column matrix. There is only one column. So it's also called column matrix or unknown matrix. This 5, 9 and 16 are called constant matrix. Constant matrix. It's only one column. This is also called constant column matrix. Constant column matrix. This is called unknown column matrix. You write like this, and then you must write Ax equal to B. Ax equal to B means if you multiply A in x, if you multiply like this, row 1 and column 1, you get the answer 1 into x is 1x plus 1 into y is 1y plus 1 into 1 is set equal to 5. Ax equal to B. The three equations you can write like this, Ax equal to B. The given whole thing can be written as Ax equal to B. If you put the A, if you put the x and multiply, you get these three equations. We want to find the unknown letter x. Take the A, that's it, become A inverse B. So first step is finding A inverse. This only is a lengthy process. The formula for A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. So the formula for A inverse is 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. This is called part 1. Sometimes we call this as part 0 also, means it's a basic. Write this. Now part 2 is finding determinant A. Finding what? Finding determinant A. This is a thing, finding determinant A. Okay, this part. Finding determinant A. Okay, and you know how to find determinant A? Take this and write the determinant form. Matrix doesn't have value, determinant has a value. So 1, you put this, so 1 means you must take this block, leave that one, then this will be plus, this will be minus, this will be plus, put minus 1, leave that column, so leave that row and leave that column, you write this, and then you must multiply like this, we taught already, and while coming back you get a minus in the middle. So 1 in minus 1 to 3, minus in the formula, and 1 into minus 2. Like that you must do this and get it, and when you simplify you get these numbers, and finally you get determinant A as minus 9. This is part 1. Next you must do adjoint A, that is called part 3, a very lengthy process, you must do careful. Now coming to this part 3, you have to find the cofactor and then adjoint A. So first cofactor matrix you can write from part 2. What all you got it, the cofactors, each cofactor. This is called cofactor of A11. This is called cofactor of A12. Cofactor of A13. Like that for all the cofactors. Each element you can write it. All the cofactors. And adjoint A is nothing but transpose of cofactor matrix. You have to do the transpose. Transpose means you must change the rows and columns. So the transpose I have written here. So this is row 1, row 2, row 3. The rows are changed into column. The row 1 becomes column 1, the row 2 becomes column 2, and row 3 becomes column 3. Now this is called adjoint A. So this is only a lengthy process. After adjoint A, we know A inverse is nothing but 1 by determinant A into adjoint A. 1 by determinant A is minus 9. This you can write like this, minus you can put in the top. 1 by 9 into, you can write this, minus 1, minus 5, 2, minus 5, 2, 1, minus 3, 3 and minus 3. And the last part, part 4, is finding the value of x, y and z. So now we have to find the unknown letters x, y and z. I said it's a lengthy process but a compulsory question. It's actually 5 marks question. In those days they gave 10 marks and all, now it's only 5 marks. So capital X equal to A inverse B, this comes from part 1. You can refer the part 1. We stopped. So X means X, Y, Z. It's called an unknown matrix. Unknown column matrix. It's only one column. A inverse, just now we got this answer. A inverse. This fully is actually A inverse. And this is called as B. A inverse B. Now this x equal to this minus 1 by 9 is common for all. See, minus 1 by 9 minus for y and z. For all x, y and z is common. Nothing but minus 1 by 9 into row 1 column 1. This is called row 1 into this column 1. Minus 1 into 5 plus minus 5 into 9 plus 2 into 16. Minus 1 by 9 minus 1 to 5 is minus 5. Minus 45 plus 32 minus 1 by 9. If you add all this, you get minus 18. When you cancel, you get minus 2. And this is all simplification only. So x you get 2. Next is called y. This minus 1 by 9 is common for all x, y and z. So minus 1 by 9 to row 2 column 1. This one is called row 2. Minus 5 into 5 plus 2 into 9 plus 1 into 16. That's what we wrote here. And this given here after multiplication, sorry this here, you get as plus 4. This is minus 1. So value of z is minus 1 by 9 row 3 column 1. This is called row 3 and column 1. If you multiply, you get this. So the solution set is plus 2, minus 1 and plus 4. This is the answer. And part 5 is checking. If you want, you can check it. That's not compulsory. We'll do part 5. So finally, you can check the answer. It's not compulsory. If time permits in the exam, you can check it. Point 1. Sometimes, such a big sum, you'll be having a doubt whether I'll get the marks. You can check it in the rough work. Now take the left hand side of equation 1, x plus y plus z. Don't write the 3. Don't put the 5. Write the unknown letters x and y. For x you put 2, plus for y you put minus 1. For z you put 4. 2 minus 1 plus 4 is 5. So when you take the left hand side and substitute the value of x, y and z, you must get 5. The right hand side you got it here. So the first equation is correct. But it must be satisfied in all the 3 equations. If it doesn't satisfy in one equation, your answer is wrong. Take the second equation left hand side. Don't take the constant. Take this alone. 2x minus y plus z. Substitute x. 2 into x is 2. Y is minus 1 and z is 4. 2 to the 4 plus 1 4, you get 9. The right hand side of the second equation. Don't stop with it. All 3 should be satisfied for these values. Left hand side of 3, x minus 2y plus z. X you put the 2, minus 2 into y you put minus 1, plus wherever x comma y comma z you put the values. This is your x, y and z values to substitute. 2 minus 2 minus minus plus 2 gives 16. Right hand side is satisfied. All 3 equations, the left hand side equal to right hand side, left hand side equal to right hand side, left hand side equal to right hand side. Therefore the value of this unknown letter is the correct answer. But this is not compulsory. If time permits, you can do.